When are we going to take a more sort of realistic view of migrants and illegal migrants that are coming over the channel all the time at the moment? A very critical situation, and most of you will know my views. I suppose would be sort of labelled right wing on this, or even very right wing. But at the same time, I think people on the left and the right, maybe further to the left and further to right, don't sort of look at these people really as just human beings, a mixture, a whole cross section of human beings, just like you'd find here amongst your own people. In the UK, you've got the same personalities, the same cross section of types of people, the same mixture, variety, the same spectrum as you have with your own people. A lot of people, particularly, very left-leaning people, tend to look at these migrants as all lovely and, all victims, all fleeing persecution, all genuine, all lovely. And many people on the left, even look at these people as if they should be given privileges and take priority over the needs and wants and welfare of people already in this country, which to me is dangerously perverse. But yeah, they generalize about how wonderful and how genuine all these people are, and how we should be helping them all, and they're all innocent and lovely. And then you've got people sort of quite far along the right-hand side of the political spectrum who, sort of view them as all rubbish, all scum, terrible people. They need to be booted out straight away. They need to go back to where they've come from. And they're, almost subhuman. They're inferior to us. They're inferior to the native population of this country, and they're all potential criminals and terrorists and all the rest of it. And so, yeah, you've got two extremes there. People on the, quite far on the left-hand side of the spectrum, and people quite far on the right-hand side of the spectrum, who view them either as beneath us and all as rubbish and inferior, and those who think they're wonderful and even should even get privileges and special treatment, placed above people that are already in this country, the native, dare I say it, the native population. I'm not sure if we're allowed to use the word native now, but yeah, so two extremes there. But actually, although I might be considered very right wing on my in my views on this, and I think that most of them should not be here, and that it is a scandal, and they shouldn't be in hotels, and the vast majority of them should be deported, and we need very, very strict limited quotas on migration, immigration, and down to the bare minimum now, the bare minimum that's necessary, although I think that, I also think that we need to sort of look at these people as just general human beings, a general mixture of ordinary people with frailties, strengths, good points, bad points, just like the usual mixture and spectrum that is humanity, just like you have in this country or in any human society. We should be looking at them just sort of in a bit more a balanced way. Yes, I think that they shouldn't be here. Yes, I think the whole situation is chaotic and corrupt and out of control, a breaking point, a boiling point. And yes, I believe most of them should be deported and they shouldn't be here. But at the same time, I view them as a mixture of people. They're no better or worse or different really in many ways from people here or in any other country. Now, my salient point here, the reason I did this video was in continuation from a video I did earlier in the week about a conversation I had with two gentlemen, one sort of centre left and one sort of much further to the left, in a bar. And these two gentlemen, we were having a very animated, very intense conversation about this, but friendly as well. And neither of these gentlemen could see any issues with migration or immigration in this country. They couldn't see any problems or issues with any of it. And I was really shocked and bewildered by this. And we had a polite debate, but very intense and frank. And I said, well, to one of them, the older gentleman, senior gentleman, he said that he wanted a world without borders, and which maybe when I was younger I would have liked. Sounds very utopian. When I was a younger, more idealistic young man, I might have gone with that. And I said, yeah, but what about national identity? What about cultural identity? What about our national identity? To which he replied, well, I think you can have both. You can have national identities, but you can also have a world without borders. Now that confused me. That's food for thought. Not sure about that, but yeah, I'll have to keep reflecting on that one. That really confused and concerned me somewhat. A world without borders, but we can still keep our national identities. Well, okay. But anyway, the other point was, in this discussion with these two gentlemen in a bar the other day, they said, oh, no, they're not. None of these migrants are coming here to scrounge. None of them are coming here for benefits or for what they can get or for the financial advantages or for, welfare benefits and payments. They're not coming here for that. They're not scrounging. And I said, well, okay, maybe a lot of them are not. Surely they're a mixture. Let's be rational and logical about this. Maybe some of them are and some of them are not. Maybe it's a bit of both. You can't just say it's black and white, either or. They either, they're all scroungers or they're all genuine. It's a mixture. It's somewhere in the middle. They're going to be a mixture. If we know that we've got our own native British people that take advantage of the welfare state, that play a game, that play the system. We've got people who are work shy. We've got people who milk and exploit their medical issues to their advantage. We've got people who play the system. We know that. We've got that in our own native population, or not another. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say native, but you know what I mean. We've got that in our native population here. So how is it logical or rational to say that none of those migrants coming across the channel are looking to take advantage or exploit the system or play the system? How can we say that none of them are opportunistic if we're going to talk about opportunists and people who play the system in our own country, our native Brits? Surely, logically, rationally, the same would apply to a minority, or a certain proportion of the migrants coming across the channel as well. It's only rational. They're a mixture of human beings, good, bad, everything in between. Probably mostly good, but that doesn't mean they should be here. That doesn't mean they shouldn't be deported. That doesn't mean this is right. But I'd even go as far as to say that most of them are okay, normal, a normal cross-section of human beings, just like we have here in Britain. So how can people that are more left-leaning, I hate to keep using these categorizations and labels because I'm all for a healthy debate where we listen to each other instead of insulting each other, but how can people more on the left say, oh, these people are all genuine and none of them are here to exploit the system, none of them are here opportunistically, none of them are here for what they can get, none of them are here to get the welfare benefits and advantages and payouts? How can you say that? That's not logical. Of course some of them are going to be like that, because there are huge swathes of human beings here, and it's going to be a whole mixture of people, a whole cross-section. So of course, just like we have here in the UK, people that are already here, you're going to have that with some migrants as well. That's only rational. They're a broad cross-section of people. It's the same as I often say, okay, some of the people coming into this country really are not good. They are not, shouldn't be here, and they are, they're bringing problems with them. They're bringing crime with them. They're not. They shouldn't be here. They're not good for this country. And people say, "Oh, that's very racist." And I say, "Well, no, it's nothing to do with race. We've got enough of our own We've got enough of our own problem people here. We've got enough of our own native Brits to deal with who have got problems. We've got, prisons are overcrowded. We've got, mentioned the welfare state. We've got enough of our own people who don't want to work and who want to milk the system. We've got enough of our own, for want of a better expression, problem people here in the UK, our own native bad eggs, low lives, problem people, without bringing the same in from other countries. We've got enough of our own to deal with, so why would we be allowing in and importing in similar types of people from elsewhere? It's nothing to do with race or racism, But anyway, yeah, so to conclude, let's just take a more realistic, more balanced view. No, they shouldn't be here, most of them. Most of them should be deported. The migrant hotel situation is obscenely obscene, obscenely scandalous, or scandalously obscene, however you want to word it. It's horrific, but and most of them shouldn't be here. Most of them, majority of them, should be deported. But at the same time, let's look at these people as humans, with the same feelings, the same needs, the same cross-section, spectrum of people as you'd find here in Britain, amidst our native population, the same as you get in any country. So let's not sort of idolise these people. Let's not mollycoddle them. Let's not sort of glorify them. But then again, let's not demonise them and generalise in a nasty way about them either, because they're just a mixture, a cross-section of human beings, like we have here in Britain, like you have in any country. So let's just sort of look at them in a more realistic, balanced way, because we've got too many extremes going on here. Either people, completely demonising them and generalising them about them as all criminals and terrorists and scroungers, and then you've got other people saying, oh, they're all wonderful, they're all deserving, they all need help, they should all be here. Let's look at it in the middle. Let's be balanced about this, because it's not either of those things. The truth is a mixture. It's a case by case basis, and they're a mixture of human beings with all the flaws, strengths, weaknesses, inadequacies, strengths, just like human beings everywhere have. So let's try and keep a level head about this, and not everything's black and white all the time. I know I often say that, but yeah, all opinions welcome as always. Polite debate, always welcome, whether you agree or disagree or somewhere in between. Keep those comments coming in, keep the debate going. Let's have heated debate, as Mrs. Merton used to say. Do you remember Mrs. Merton?